talking to me? Start it over.
We should have known that was going to happen.
Are you talking to me? Oh, what are you doing, Mike?
He's going to start it over. You're awful, man.
Forget about it.
Man.
Forget about it, Michael. You didn't start it when you were supposed to start it.
He did his job. Quit your whining.
Respect. Donor.
Well, I guess nobody wins then. Today's Pantera guesses. Fun Katie went with the Minnesota Timberwolves because they actually put an ad in the paper that said they weren't going to win the championship this year, but buy tickets anyway. Burnsy went with Mike Singletary. Pretty good guess. Big Mike. Now, this is the funniest one ever. This guess from Big Mike, you win. I don't care, Big Mike. Your guess is so good. You win. I went with Shane Doan. AP went with Shane Doan. Whiz Boy, Farmer Rod, and Intern Rob all went with Vince Young. So did Yoda on the Pantera call-out. But the reason why Big Mike won is I'm not even going to say Shane Doan's in studio. But make sure his mic's on, guys, because we're going to want to hear Shane Doan's giggle or schneid remark or little smirk, whatever he gives, when I say who Big Mike guessed. Big Mike's Pantera guess was Wayne Gretzky.
Oh,
there it is.
Really? Can you really call out the great one, though? I don't know about that. I might be a little reticent when it comes to
between you and I, when you look at the success of the 2009 team and the success of the 2010 team, yes, you can.
Yeah. By the way, if you're ever going to call somebody out with a Pantera tune of Walk, ladies and gentlemen, you need to pick up the beat right from the get. Yeah, otherwise, you're doomed.
We figured that. It's time for Things You Need to Know.
Doug and Wolf. Things you need to know.
I've always wondered about that. Don't get me sidetracked, Doug.
Daniel Hudson is good. That's what you need to know. 167 ERA since the trade as the Arizona Diamondbacks beat up on the Reds 3-1.
Proceed.
No. Wolf's out. Injuries like crazy in the NFL. Chris Jenkins, ACL for the Jets. Ryan Grant, right ankle torn ligament for the Green Bay Packers. And Bob Sanders, torn biceps tendon for the Indianapolis Colts. All out for the year.
Well, it's a game of football. It's a nasty game now, isn't it? Proceed.
And the last thing you need to know is that Shane Doan is in studio with Doug and Wolf this morning here on Sports 620 KTAR. They have rookie scrimmages last night and this afternoon at jobbing.com Arena. They are free. Are you ready, Shane Doan? Hockey is here.
Yeah, you know what? We've been off for a long time, so yes, more than ready. Can't wait to get back out there.
Now, do you ever find yourself, Donor, walking around these rookie scrimmages? You know, do you ever find yourself down there watching these guys? Do you go down and watch these young guys?
Yeah, actually, they had their first game against LA last night, and I took my two kids. We just went down. I have a young guy that I trained with for the last 6 or 7 summers that actually got a chance to. He's here on a tryout and had a goal and assist last night, or 2 assists, and so I'm hoping it works out for him.
How far are we away from your first training camp in which there's a kid who was born the same year as your rookie year that you're on the ice with?
Hey, it's getting closer.
Is it?
It is, because the other day somebody said that he was a 92 or 93, and I was drafted in 95, so... It's getting closer, and yet I still think I'm the same age as him when you get. We
all do, my friend.
I'm blown away by that. So
Shane Doan live in studio here on the Doug and Wolf Show. I would imagine going into this training camp, there is a much different feeling in that clubhouse, isn't there now?
There is, and it's one of excitement in the fact. There's still a lot of questions because you hear people talking about, well, can you do it again? I mean, was last year kind of a fluke, or was it something that
unfortunately you've got the same motivation this year?
Exactly.
Nothing's changed.
And then the whole thing going on with the ownership, you're kind of like, you got to win, else you got the same deal going on.
Well, the expectations, though, are so much higher, isn't it now? I mean, what you guys did, you didn't have a coach to start training camp.
Yeah, you did not have a coach. Congratulations on having a coach at this point this year.
To start training camp last year and to do what you guys did. Now everyone's expecting it out of you, Donor.
Yeah, and you know what? That I don't know if that's exactly the approach you want to have ever again. I mean, it was a little unique, but we talked to Tip about seeing if he could wait a couple weeks before he shows up again, but he wants to be here right now. And you know what? It was a great ride, and everything worked out well. And we want to make sure that you do all the little things. I mean, that was really what it came down to. Is we did all the little things well, and when you do that, good things usually happen.
What did you do relaxation-wise or hype-wise? What did you do in the off-season?
You know what? I got to do this thing called Man Tracker up in Canada.
No, wait a minute.
I know.
As soon as you got to...
What?
I don't want you, with all due respect, that's a Gambo and Ash joke, but Man Tracker seems a little scary.
I know. You know what? And it's mantracker.ca, because if you do .com, it's a little inappropriate, but it's .ca. And
let's focus on that. Mantracker.ca. Okay.
It's a reality TV show that drops you off. Literally, it dropped us off about. In the absolute middle of nowhere. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, and this is a long ways from there. It was amazing. And you have to go about 40 kilometers in this guy on a horse and another guy on a horse kind of track. It's kind of like the movie The Most Dangerous Game. You remember when they're hunting the...
Oh, that is,
It was...
so these guys are chasing you now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's intense. Like, we spent the night out. We saw like 6 or 7 black bears.
Now, who's we? You and...
My brother and I.
Okay. So that's it?
Yeah, just the two of us. It was unbelievable. Went up over...
Why? I don't know why that's cracking me up so much.
Awesome.
You're out in the middle of nowhere with your brother, and there's a bunch of guys tracking you.
That's
awesome.
It was like the most. When we were done, it was like we went a distance. I think it was like 37 or 40 kilometers, right around there. We went up over 6,000 feet. It was like the night we slept like literally like an hour and a half, because you were sure every time you heard something, a noise, you thought it was something come to eat you. And
Donor,
it was awesome.
Where exactly did you grow up? Where
I
did
grew
you...
up in Central Alberta.
Central Alberta.
Yeah, which would kind of be like Central Idaho. So yeah, so kind of very similar to the kind of the plains.
So then now the burning question becomes, do you believe in Bigfoot? Do you believe in Bigfoot? Do you think Bigfoot... Seriously, are there any legends out there in the middle of Alberta that there could be some hairy primeval ape walking around the forest?
Well, in Alberta probably not, but I know that in the Kootenays there's rumors of it being in the Kootenays. And
see, that's where we ought to go, Donor.
I agree.
We ought to go. If you told me right now, let's go out and hunt Bigfoot, Donor, would you do that? Would you go on an expedition to hunt Bigfoot?
Well, if he could do Man Tracker, he could go searching for Bigfoot.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Oh, it was so much fun, and going looking for Bigfoot would sound like just an incredible experience.
Speaking of Bigfoot,
we're dropping the two of you off.
Exactly. Speaking of Bigfoot here, and we are talking to Shane Doan here on the Doug and Wolf Show.
How can you make a segue on this?
Can you do it again? Can you make that impression on the NHL again? Do you think you're going to be a better team this year than you were last year?
And what does that have to do with Bigfoot?
Well, the impression.
I see.
The footprint.
The footprint. You know what? I think we need some... The one thing that was positive about what we could look forward to is not one of our forwards had really a career year. We had a few guys that were okay, but no one really had a great year individually. Obviously, Brizzy was phenomenal, and we got to have him be good again. I think Keith Yandel is becoming one of the top 5-10 defensemen in the entire league. He's going to be an elite defenseman, and we need someone up front, probably 2 or 3 guys to step up and have big years. And if that happens, yeah, we can do it again. We can actually be better. We finished 4th and only, I think, 3 points behind Chicago and San Jose for the West, and our power play was 29th in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That is, if you move your power play up, and we want to be in at least the top, 12, that gives you at least 4 or 5 more points. We might have won the West. So that's really kind of our mindset right now. Is as well as we played and as well as things worked in our favor, there's a ton of room of improvement that we can do, and that's really what Tip's pushing, and that's kind of what we're all kind of getting ready for.
Got another rookie scrimmage today. It's free if anybody wants to go. It's at jobbing.com arena. It's at 2 o'clock, and then coming up on Saturday is the Coyotes Pack Preview Day. That's from 10:30 to 3. That's at jobbing.com. It's completely free to anybody who wants to see the Coyotes players on the ice for the first time. You'll have top executives there as well, and the broadcasters. What goes on at Pack Preview Day other than me just kind of repeating what I'm reading? Because you know a lot more about it than I do.
It'll be the first time the players scrimmage, and that's sometimes fun to watch. Just the fact that it's the first time, so it's not quite as. It's amazing how fast the game is when it's the first time. You can't believe how he's practiced all summer long, and you have way more time than you do in the first. There's usually some big hits because of it, and it's a fun time to watch, and you get to see some of the young guys. There's a couple, Oliver Ekman-Lars, that they're really high on. He's a defenseman that there's talk that he would have won the Rookie of the Year last year if he'd been in the NHL.
It's just an unbelievable thing. So much respect for what you guys did and what a difference a year makes. Thanks for coming in, Donor. We appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Thank you, guys.
And if you don't mind us being editorial here, it's clear that they earned your money. If you can look at your finances, head out to the event coming up Saturday from 10:30 to 3, and then while you're there, since it's free, if you've never had a season ticket to an NHL team, go to the free event. Watch the scrimmage and the action, and then talk things over with the family, and they'll have sales reps there right there for you to think about making season tickets or purchases for the season.
All right, thanks, guys.
You're welcome. That's Shane Doan joining Doug and Wolf this morning here on Sports 620 KTAR. Coming up next.